the phrase we use is the importance of feel the benefit. And it's something that's been overlooked, but it's actually behind most of the successes we've seen in recent years in all areas of, let's call them functional foods, even though that's not a legal or regulatory term that has any meaning, but foods with health benefits. So if you look at a brand like Activia, which as we all know has been hugely successful as a probiotic yogurt, not only in Europe, but in Latin America and the United States and in Asia, one of the core aspects of their marketing has been that they have made a promise: feel the difference within 14 days or you get your money back. Now, that is an extremely persuasive message to give to someone. We're so confident in our product that if it's not having an effect for you, we will give you your money back. So that has been a key driver, one of the key drivers of the success of that brand. And it's not alone. If you look at a brand, let's say outside healthy aging, but look in weight management like Kellogg's Special K breakfast cereal, that's grown from being a $300 million brand to a $1.5 billion brand over the course of the past 8 years, based on a simple promise, that drop a jean size or drop a bikini size promise. So there's no complicated science, but the promise is there to the customer. If you consume our product in the way we recommend for 2 weeks, you will feel the difference in your clothing. So what you see is an awful lot of areas where the benefit is in some sense tangible or measurable, underpin a lot of the successes where you're talking about products that are in the 50+ market. So cholesterol lowering, for example. Yes, it's a niche market, it's a very low volume market, but you've got consumers who are very loyal because the products are clinically proven to actually lower your cholesterol. So if you have a cholesterol test from the doctor and it's high, you consume the product, and in 2 weeks, you can go back for another test, or 4 weeks, and your cholesterol is measurably lower. And I think the older consumer is much more discerning and more demanding. So they're not willing to spend their money on something that they can't be sure gives them value for money. And helping you deal with your health issue by delivering a tangible benefit is absolutely core to success. Now, it's not easy to do for all benefit areas, but it's really surprising what can be achieved. So in Asia, for example, there's a high calcium milk called Anlene, marketed by Fonterra. Now, you wouldn't think that you could make a market for high calcium milk. Surely all milk has calcium in it, but how do you know whether you have osteoporosis or a problem with your bones unless you go to a doctor? So what Fonterra has done is they've set up teams of health professionals, nurses and other people who go to shopping malls, go to places where people are, community centres, and provide free bone scans, so that the people who have the bone scan can then look at it, and they're given guidance by a health professional, and they can see what the health of their bones is. They can be told, you should go and see a doctor. They can give them some information about lifestyle. They're of course given a sample of the product to take away, and Fonterra has told us that this is more effective than advertising in creating loyal consumers. And today that brand, it's the biggest calcium fortified milk in Asia, and it's also sold at the highest premium price, about 30% above any of its competitors. And they even have variants that are more expensive than that have more science and deliver a more guaranteed dose. So I think all of those things illustrate people's willingness, eagerness to find, for you, to give them something really tangible. The days of talking broadly about wellness and well-being and vitality, those are gone. Regulators won't let you do it, and consumers have wised up to it. You cannot launch a successful health brand on the cheap. That's simply not possible. And one of the main causes of failure in all markets has been managements who aren't willing to commit to doing that. Now, that means, of course, a lot of companies are automatically excluded from competing in this market because no management has a 7-year time horizon. But we've made a number of studies over the years where we've done confidential interviews with some companies about how long it's taken them to get brands to profitability. And the average for a brand with a health benefit is 7 years. 7 years to get to profit because of that high cost of investing in the brand. It means that we're seeing fewer launches now because of the pressure from stock markets on senior managements. They're not willing to invest that kind of money. So that therefore means that if you look at it on the positive side, if you're a private company or you're a company with deep pockets and you are willing to do that, you'll be one of the few players going out there with something very, very tangible. But if people think it can be done very cheaply, absolutely not. You really have to be willing to make a big commitment, which is bad news if you don't have much money. Your ability to taste diminishes over time, your responsiveness to different textures changes, so you have to have different flavours. I don't know whether this was done intentionally, but it seems to have happened accidentally. Again, if you take Activia, which is it's the world's most successful probiotic yogurt, it's benefited digestive health, its core consumer is over the age of 40 or even over the age of 50. A lot of people buy that product in their 60s because the flavours, things like rhubarb, fig, prune, all those sorts of things, those flavours actually have an appeal to them. So it's rated by a lot of consumers as a very good tasting yogurt, and rated by those people in those age groups as a good tasting yogurt. So, as I say, I think that was an accident rather than an intention, who knows, but it's something that has to be top of the priority list, and alongside taste and texture is product format. Basically, 85-year-old ladies don't drink smoothies. So if you want to get a dose of protein into her diet, you better find a product format that she finds acceptable. And an example of how a company's working on this is there's a company called Applied Nutritionals. They work in the area of protein, and they found that if they supplied a cookie, basically a biscuit, that was what the 85-year-old lady wanted, because she's used as a personal custom to consuming a cookie with a cup of tea in the afternoon. The taste and texture appeals to her. She's really not going to drink a smoothie like that. She's not a teenager walking down the street. That's not dignified. So all these factors, yeah, they're extremely important in success. And I think if anything, as an industry, we've been a bit too focused on we must get protein into beverages, get all our solutions into beverages, because for different groups of older consumers, that simply may not be the right way to do it.